The NHL's history values loyalty, not loud promises or fleeting flashes of brilliance, but years of devotion to a single crest on the chest. And right now, the league is living through a rare moment. Several so-called untouchable records are beginning to tremble. What makes it even more remarkable is that they're being challenged not by journeymen chasing fame, but by players who patiently built their legacy in one place. Sidney Crosby, heir to an era. On January 11th, Sidney Crosby once again reminded the hockey world why his name has long stood alongside the game's gods. Against New Jersey, the Pittsburgh captain played the role of offensive architect twice, recording 2 assists. That was enough to first catch and then surpass Wayne Gretzky for the most assists with a single NHL franchise. And this is where the moment becomes truly special. Because passing Gretzky isn't just about numbers, it almost feels sacrilegious. Yet Crosby did it quietly, without theatrics, the way work is meant to be done. As a result, Sid the Kid now stands alone in second place in NHL history for assists with 1 franchise. And honestly, the only real question left is when he'll move into first. Crosby is hockey in its old-school form. 1 team, 1 locker room, 1 purpose. In an era dominated by business decisions and endless trades, he feels like a message from the past, a time when being captain wasn't a role, but a destiny.
Ovechkin and the art of scoring. When it comes to loyalty and greatness, Alexander Ovechkin's name cuts through the silence like a gunshot. 21 NHL seasons, all with Washington. No breaks, no change of scenery, just goals. Lots of them. 917 goals in 1,538 games, numbers that make goalies of previous generations instinctively tighten their gloves. On November 4, 2022, Ovi scored his 786th goal to tie Gordie Howe. 2 days later, he calmly took the next step, leaving Mr. Hockey behind. A record that had stood for 51 years was finally broken, and Ovechkin reached the summit faster than Howe did, in fewer games. This isn't just a record, it's a symbol of an era. Just as Howe once defined goal-scoring greatness, Ovechkin has now become its benchmark for an entire generation. Alongside him in single franchise history stand Yzerman, Lemieux, Crosby, Sakic, players who never chased shortcuts or changed teams for the sake of numbers. Assists, Sid's next frontier. For decades, Ray Bourque's assist record with 1 team felt untouchable. 1,111 assists for Boston, a near sacred number. For 26 years, no one even came close. Now, Crosby is there again. 1,087 assists. 24 to tie, 25 to claim the record outright. For a player of his caliber, that's a matter of weeks, maybe a couple of months. Once more, there's no rush, no noise, just work, just class, just a captain doing his job, while history is carefully rewritten. Iron Men and a record that defies the modern game. Some records feel like relics from another world. 1,687 games with 1 franchise, Gordie Howe. Today, that number sounds almost unreal. Even with an expanded schedule, it would take 21 full seasons without serious injuries, slumps, conflicts, or rebuilds. In the modern NHL, that's simply impossible. Patrick Marleau came the closest. 1,607 games with San Jose. 22 seasons. Still not enough. 2 years in Toronto changed everything. History took a different path. Ovechkin is already knocking on the door of the top 5 and will soon catch Shane Doan, but reaching Howe is no longer in the cards, and there's no tragedy in that. Some peaks exist simply to remind us what players used to be. Scoring leaders. The moment of truth. The most intriguing chapter is still ahead. In late December 2025,
Crosby passed Mario Lemieux to become the all-time leading scorer in Pittsburgh Penguins history. Lemieux himself, the man who once was the franchise. Crosby now sits at 1,736 points, 20 shy of Steve Yzerman, 73 away from Gordie Howe's all-time record. If nothing goes wrong, next season we'll witness a moment that will be remembered for decades. Sidney Crosby, the greatest single-franchise scorer in NHL history. History favors those who don't rush, those who remain loyal, those who play not for contract blinds, but for the emblem on their chest. And right now, players like these are making hockey great again.